if you promise a mod browser, you gotta deliver on it, because people really do enjoy the game, not just for that vanilla state of it, but because they want to be able to create their own scenarios. They want to be able to create their own role plays. They want to be able to drive trucks that they relate to in the real world. Welcome back, y'all, and today, we got some things to talk about in relation to the release of Season 7 in SnowRunner. Now, before we get into any of the talking points that I have today, I just want to make it completely clear to you guys, this is not a developer bashing session. This is just me voicing some of the concerns that I have and some of the concerns that I've seen throughout the community. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive right into all of the topics related to Season 7 and, of course, its release. And if there's anything that I don't mention that you guys would like to have mentioned or brought up in a future video, make sure to let me know what those are in the comment section down below. And if there are any topics as far as Season 7 goes that you are also really interested in talking about, leave them down there in the comments as well. Let's get an open conversation going. Now, without any further ado, let's fire up this Defender 90 and get it over there on the trailer. Now, we're using a small combination of mods today. We've got the base, of course, map in Season 7. We've got this Defender 90, which is a vanilla DLC vehicle. And then mods-wise, we are using Yeah Buddy's Dodge and the GGMS trailer pack with this rally trailer. So, with all that out of the way, let's talk about a couple of things. Now, with the Season 7 release, mod maps, at least at this point, it's been about a day since Season 7 has released, and mod maps are still very much so broken. Now, there are some mod maps that will show on the mod browser as a broken mod, and there are other mod maps that won't show as a broken mod, but when you try to load them, the entire game just perpetually stays on a loading screen and eventually completely crashes out. Now, that in itself is a sketchy issue, but it's not quite as wild as the fact that Switch players have gotten the update. They've gotten Tennessee, they've gotten, you know, the physics changed and everything, but their mod browser is nowhere to be found. Now, when they originally said that the Switch mods would be coming with Season 7, a lot of us, myself included, figured that that would mean they would drop when Season 7 dropped. However, since the release of Season 7 and there has been no mod browser on Switch, a lot of us have been left scratching our heads, not really knowing where to proceed in the realm of mods coming to the Switch community. So let's fire this truck up and continue this conversation on the road once we have the trailer packed. Now, let's get those ramps up. Good to go. And then now we can head out toward the ranch. So let's go ahead and get this beast of a rig turned around. And I gotta say, before we go any further along, this actually looks really, really good. It's interesting how cool a mod truck towing a vanilla vehicle can look when, like, the setup is actually, you know, when the setup is actually, like, really well put together. I kind of dig what we have going on here. I'm gonna take a photo of that because I really like the way it looks. Anyway, we're gonna move on now into a couple more concerns that I have about Season 7. Now, one thing that I want to address is that a lot of people that have upgraded to, and I've been seeing this in my comment section as well as on various Discord servers, a lot of people that have upgraded to the next-gen version are saying, oh my god, where did all my mods go? I used to have 100 some odd pages of mods, and now I only have like 20. And that's not an issue with the game directly. That's not the developers, you know, like, they're not deleting mods, they're not getting rid of stuff. That just is a byproduct of the fact that the mod system has changed a little bit. So now, mods have to be approved as their own separate units when they release on a next-gen platform versus a previous-gen platform, because the file that the modder themselves has to upload is different. Now, obviously, this allows the next-gen systems to be able to take more advantage of the power of the next-gen consoles, and it allows them to be able to run more mods, but it does mean that it may take a little bit longer for your favorite mod to return to the next-gen version of the game, although the developers have proven that they are fairly quick at reapproving mods that are making their way to the next gen. So do keep that in mind if you have upgraded to the next gen version. Now, apparently, they did release mods on Crossplay. So Crossplay multiplayer now supposedly supports mods, but I have yet to dive into that to really kind of validate the reliability of that particular system. Now, let's go ahead and just get through here without completely ruining our drive. We got to kind of inch that trailer over a bit. See if we can get it around this rock. Just make it so the legs don't, not the legs don't catch, but that the body of the trailer doesn't catch. Now, again, going back into crossplay with mods. Crossplay with mods is a wonderful development, right? Crossplay with mods is an amazing development in a lot of ways and in a lot of areas, and also for a lot of reasons. Let's see. Let's get you right about there. I know I'm obsessed with taking photos, but crossplay with mods is a big deal because originally they said crossplay would not have mods, and then now they've supposedly added it. Now, again, I have to go in and really test the reliability of that to make sure that I feel that it's, you know, an actual working system, but if they say it's there and they say it works, I'm sure that they've gotten it to work internally. But I personally would really like some answers on Switch mods. Now, again, I want to make it clear that this is not me bashing the devs. This is not me going after the devs. This is not me saying, you know, like, this is not me, like, losing my mind and going, where are they? But it's more me just kind of being curious as to, like, hey, you know, we were originally under the impression that these were coming in Season 7 and that this would be an included feature, and then, you know, the Switch community was understandably very confused when they updated their games and the mod browser was not there. Because, you know, if you hear that a feature is going to be in an update, and then you update your game, and then said feature is all of a sudden not there, you're going to understandably be a bit confused. I would be a bit confused as well, and not only would I be a bit confused, but I'd be a bit, you know, a bit frustrated, and I feel like, you know, frustration is warranted in that sense, you know? Like, we love this game, we're passionate about this game, and we want certain things to work when, you know, when people tell us that they're actually coming to the game. I mean, mods being on Switch is and was, when it was announced, an enormous deal to the Switch player base and the Switch community around this game, because that is something that they have never had access to ever before. I mean, think about it. What other game, especially on the Nintendo Switch, are you going to be doing anything remotely similar to what I'm doing right now on screen? Now, obviously, the RAM is not going to be available on Switch because it's obviously a branded mod, and branded mods don't make it to consoles, but, you know, there are many Dodge Rams, and as a matter of fact, the Glitchworks GWC G150 was actually recently approved for Switch if you look on mod.io. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people are saying, oh, the developers, like, they're saying they quote-unquote, like, lied about there being a Switch mod browser, but here's my thinking. If they were going to quote-unquote lie about that, why would there be a sort by Nintendo Switch option on mod.io, right? So what I feel is that potentially the Switch mod browser is in the works, but it may not have been ready when they went to drop Season 7. Now, some people may say, well, if that part of Season 7 wasn't ready, why did you drop all of these other parts when you promised that this part of it would be coming? And that is a very valid point of view. I'm not saying that any part of that is not a valid point of view, because it absolutely is. And again, that frustration around that is 100% understandable and 100% valid. Personally, I would just love a little bit more insight from the developers on where everything is. You know, if something is going to be delayed, I would love, you know, for there to be an announcement like, hey, just so you guys know, Switch mods are going to be delayed a little bit. Maybe, I don't know if it's going to be like a couple of days, a couple of weeks. Who knows? We have yet to get any information on that. And I would love to be able to share information with you guys, but unfortunately, we don't have any information on that front to share. And really, at this point, nobody does, because there hasn't been any announcement about it from the developers. So what I'm thinking may happen is I'm thinking that they may sneak in something related to Switch mods sometime. That freaking wheelbarrow went flying. But no, like, I'm thinking that Switch mods may end up getting sort of snuck into the game at a hopefully soon later date. I'm really crossing my fingers and hoping. Like, I'm not gonna go and say, oh, they'll be here tomorrow, or oh, they'll be here by the weekend, or, you know, I'm not gonna say, oh, they'll be here by X date, because, again, I don't know when that's gonna be, and really nobody knows when that's gonna be. But really all we can do at this point is cross our fingers and hope for the best that the developers are willing to give us a little bit more insight on it, because here's the deal, you know, at least for me, I love this game, and I know that some people might be saying, oh, well, if you really love the game, you would play it without mods, and I say that that's I mean, in a lot of ways, that's a load of crap, because here's the thing. I love this game in a vanilla state. I really, really do. But what the mods allow us to do more than anything is they allow us to create scenarios that we can better relate to as people that just enjoy trucks and enjoy off-roading. Because I think, you know, some people miss the mark a little bit when they say, oh, well, you guys just want to install mods to make your game easier and blast through the campaign, and then that's it. But that's not the case, really. Now, sometimes, sure, there are mods that make campaign missions maybe easier or faster or even more fun. But for me, I think that the mods have always been a way for me to create scenarios in-game that might not have been possible without those mods in the first place. And that's why I'm so passionate about getting answers for the Switch community on this, because again, you know, they were promised a mod browser. And, you know, as different as the Nintendo Switch may be from other consoles, especially in performance and especially in the amount of mods that they may be able to run at one time, I really do think that, you know, dude, if you promise a mod browser, you gotta deliver on it, because, you know, these people really do enjoy the game, not just for that vanilla state of it, but because they want to be able to create their own scenarios. They want to be able to create their own role plays. They want to be able to drive trucks that they relate to in the real world, but in a game. And a lot of these mod creators allow people to do that. And that's why, again, going back to it, that's why I'm so passionate about really wanting that the Nintendo Switch community to get some answers in regards to their mod browser. Now, to circle back around, I know that I've talked about a lot of things in a somewhat frustrated sounding way, and I want to make it very, very clear that I'm not frustrated with the game or frustrated with the developers. I am more just wanting to find some answers and open the dialogue as to where some of this information may be. Because at the end of the day, you know, we're playing this game because we love off-roading. We're playing this game because we love trucks. We're playing this game because we love all of these scenarios that come with it. And not only that, but this game has an extremely special terrain deformation system that you really won't find in any other game. I mean, like, you know, everybody says, oh, well, like, BeamNG, for example, has better physics simulation, which, I mean, sure, from the standpoint of maybe suspension behavior and crash physics and interaction with, you know, some surfaces, yes, I will give you that. But Beam, there's one thing that Beam does not have that this game has always had, and that is that incredible terrain deformation system that at this point in time, a game like Beam can't even touch it. And I think that that goes so far and in such a long way to really making this game what it is and making it believable. Like, look at the ground. Look at what it just did right there. I know that that's something that we've come to basically take for granted in this game, but you can't find that anywhere else. And I think that that's why myself and so many other people are so passionate about, like, hey, you know, why are certain things not in the game that were supposed to be in the game? But with all of that being said and done, y'all, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I did not mean for it to come off ranty at all, and if it did come off ranty, I apologize for that. It was more meant to come off as a way to start a conversation in the community about there are things that we genuinely want answers about, and we genuinely want to know because we love this game and because we're so passionate about it. But if you guys enjoyed this video, let me know any thoughts and opinions that you may have in the comment section down below. And if you're new around here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn those notifications on, and I will see you guys next time. Talk to y'all later.